You are now tuned in to HBCU Live with National Alumni Council President Anthony H. Brown and Common Black College Application founder Robert Mason and producer Tia Mache Johnson. This is not just a show, it's an experience. It's a conversation with intention, purpose, and focus. So for the next hour, join us here on HBCU Live.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of HBCU Live. It's not just a show,
it's an experience.
It really is. Hey, y'all, what's going on for July 21st day? How's it going?
Hey, people. How are you, my brother?
Pretty good.
All is good.
Listen, so we got some great stuff happening today, but before we now listen, team. So Tia is here, but she's got to go in a few minutes, but she went and did something amazing. Her and her husband went to a wonderful experience. So before she gets up out of here, I want her to come on here and talk about this experience that she went to the other day. And we're all talking about it's just 2 by 2. That's all I'm gonna say. How about that?
That's a good intro. So it was my husband's birthday, and he had been wanting to go since it opened to go see Noah's Ark in the Creation Museum in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And so I decided this was going to be the birthday. They were open. We were socially distancing. We all had our masks on, and we went to Creation Museum, both of which are in Kentucky, and they're both about 30 minutes away from each other. It was absolutely amazing. He tells the story way better than I do, but basically it was an opportunity to walk Noah's Ark. So they have reconstructed Noah's Ark in the way you get to it, like you park your car and like see this like a Cedar Point parking lot. Like Cedar Point or any amusement park that you go to, Disney World, Disneyland, and you park your car and then you take a shuttle over, and it's like you go down this deep hill up in this valley, and then all of a sudden it's like the roads part and you just see Noah's Ark. It is absolutely stunning and amazing. And you really stand there and all like, wow, somebody really built this. And I don't mean like in our time, like somebody really built that. I mean, back in Noah's time. So if you're a Christian and you really believe in what the Gospels tell you about Noah's Ark and the flood for 40 days and 40 nights, this is something that you absolutely should go see. It talks about, it's not just about Noah's Ark and how could, there be two of a kind of the same animal. You really have to understand your scripture, and you really have to have your faith. And I think this really reaffirms it. If you have questions, they answer any question you could possibly have. I would say go to their YouTube channel. They talk about Noah's Ark. And I would also say that it really reaffirms the fact that we're not just Black, we're not just white, we're not Asian, we're all part of the human race. We're all one ethnicity. We all descended from Africa. We're just
interesting or safe to say, because for those who who believe in that process, in that storyline, it was like the reset button.
It was
for the world.
Right.
That was a reset. If we all got on this boat, and those who were there had to repopulate the world.
That's right.
That was a reset.
That's right. And they explain it so beautifully. I mean, they talk about evolution and the flaws and the errors within the whole thought process of evolution. I mean, they show you the differences between what monkeys look like and the evolution of monkeys and how they evolved as creatures and how they adapted. But they also show that there's no way on God's green earth that we are descendants of anybody's monkey.
Wow.
So that's just as powerful. And it really talks about how it puts in perspective the whole conversation that we're having right now about Black Lives Matter.
So how long did the actual tour last?
It's not a guided tour. You self-guide yourself.
Oh, really?
So you can take as long as you want.
And so throughout, and kind of like, I'm imagining kind of like any other amusement park, so to speak, the animation. So
it's not a lot of animation. It's almost like an immersive experience. Mm-hmm. So like it shows you like, how did they keep all those animals, without attacking? And how did they clean up the food? How did they drink? How did they eat? And, we always say, that couldn't have happened. But we got the pyramids, didn't we? we were, we had civilizations that were ingenious enough to build those. Why couldn't they be ingenious enough to build an ark to last?
No, I'm saying, don't they also have like some of the animatronics? I meant to say, like they have
yes,
some.
they do.
Yeah.
Oh
so
yeah, absolutely. They have all kinds of, they make sounds as you walking through. You just start hearing these sounds of birds and
Wow.
bees and all. And you walk through like the Garden of Eden. So in order to get to, well, this is the Creation Museum. In order to get to the Creation Museum, they have recreated what we think the Garden of Eden would have looked like. It is so beautiful, so
All right,
beautiful.
listen.
So it's definitely something that you would suggest.
Oh, I would definitely suggest if you have the time. They're very safe. It's not very crowded. They're very cognizant of keeping everybody at a distance and putting on your mask. So it was a wonderful experience. So if you have an opportunity to go, I would suggest you go.
No.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, again, look, I'm not gonna hold you with Tia. She's got to spend the birthday celebration with her husband.
I do, but I have to introduce my friend. I can't leave without bringing her on. So I'm gonna bring her on and I'm gonna turn it back over to you guys.
Okay, go ahead. We'll go ahead and make the intro.
Everybody, this is one of my favorite people in the world. Sophia Nelson has been my friend now for, I don't know how long, almost 20 years, maybe 18, somewhere around there. Although Anthony could say he knew her before me, way before me. But I've known Anthony longer than I know her. So it's just crazy how the world works.
Wow, right?
One big happy family.
But she is one of the most kindest, intelligent, caring people that I know. She is a connector. She is a networker. She is, it's hard to find the word. Sophia is one of the first people I met when I moved to West Palm Beach, Florida. For those of you who don't know, I lived in Florida for almost 10 years. And I cannot tell you I would have survived South Florida without Sophia. I would not have made it. And it's just her spirit, her energy, the way she is one of the most genuine people you have ever met. And I'm so glad that all of my friends, I can truly say, are genuine and real friends. And I count Sophia to be in that number just for who she is and what she does. And she has an amazing business. She has an amazing network of people that she brings together. And I think the value of the conversation we're going to have with her today is that she talks about how do you build a relationship? How do you maintain a relationship? The importance and the value of connecting within the community. It's one thing to say, oh, I serve the community and I'm about this and I'm about that. It's another thing to walk the walk and talk the talk. Absolutely. And I think that is what Sophia does. She's just committed. So I'm gonna stop talking because I can talk about her all day.
But that was great. I enjoyed that.
Well, as you get ready to bring her in, I do want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching us right now as we welcome Sophia to the stage today. I want to say hello to Monique Robinson in Texas. I want to say hello to Vanessa in New York. Braylon all the way from Lane College. And hey, Mom, I see Mama is watching.
Hey, Mom.
Again, hit the share, hit the like button, let somebody else know so we can learn all about the importance of networking and relationship and why it's so important to build those connections and be able to have these long lasting, not just in your personal, but in your professional world as well.
That's right.
So with that, Tia, thank you. We know you got to go back and finish all you got to do with you and your husband. I will talk to you later on this week. And
all right.
We'll see you.
Yeah, stay safe.
Hello, Sophia. How are you?
Hey,
welcome.
Hi, Robert. Hi, Anthony.
Oh my God! Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen now. Tia did her own intro, but listen, we go way back to August 1988.
88. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh!
Checking in at Bethune, Cookman College.
Yes. So we were classmates on freshman class. Yeah, we were class officers.
We were class officers. Yes. So I was something. I was the treasurer, the secretary. I was something.
We were freshman class officers and all that kind of good stuff, trying to make some change and do some, trying to do an impact to say, hey, We're here.
Exactly.
You know.
We were leaders way back then. We always were leaders. So hey, where we are now is where we're supposed to be. That's what I keep telling people.
Wow. So welcome to the show. We thank you so very much, having to adjust your schedule down there in West Palm Beach, doing some great things and all that great stuff. So we're gonna talk about all that and then some within this next 40 minutes or so, give or take, and just be able to explore. So if anyone has any questions for Sophia as we continue to talk, I'm gonna do my best to do Tia's responsibilities and kind of monitor the chat and all those other good things and post some stuff. So y'all got to work with me, y'all. Work with me. I'm a little slow, but that's okay.
We got you, bro. We got you.
So, first of all, let's just get started. Let everyone know now, what do you do currently? I can read the bio, but I really just come on and just say it.
Awesome. So I'm the CEO of S.A. Nelson Associates, and really, I like to tell people I'm a connector. What we try to do is we look at the community as a whole, and we look at what the needs of the community are. And if someone who doesn't live within our space comes in and says, I want to do something, they want to build a building or they want to do something, we go and we sit with them and we basically say, well, before you do this, these are the people you need to talk to. These are the things you need to do. And for it to be approved, this is how you're going to have to go about doing it. And we help walk them through that process. So, I mean, our moniker is we connect you to the people that you need the most. And that's what we do. Yeah, so it's very simple for us. It's, again, we're talking about networking. It really is about people, relationships, and building solid, sound relationships that take you to the next level.
So Sophia, let me make sure I understand. So to do what you just described, clearly, in order to connect dots, you have to identify those people who are capable of doing some of the things that you just discussed.
Yes.
What type of personality does one have to identify those people so that ultimately you can start to connect some of those dots and bring people together? Because there's so many people in various cities that say, I have the skill set, I have the network to do all the things that you're attempting to do. And then when you say go out and do it, they can't make that happen. So what do you find that's critical, or what's the most critical to you in terms of trying to identify those people and then bring those people together?
So what's been critical and what's been the most important thing for me is that when I meet someone, I put them at ease. Okay. I actually become friends with someone. I mean, if you don't like me, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well, I like you already, so we're good.
Exactly, see? But I'm well-read, and I always tell people, if you're going to go into your community space, you need to be well-read. And not just well-read about what is happening in your community, but all communities.
Right.
And you just need to have a good command of what's happening around you. If you can do that, you can strike up a conversation with anyone, a stranger on the elevator, someone walking their dog who was minding their own business.
Right,
you know what I mean? But so it's when you do that, you can make authentic connections. So there's a lot of people who say they may have those relationships, but they're not authentic.
Right.
And so building true, authentic relationships, when you see someone, you remember their names. Sometimes you don't even remember their names, but remember little intrinsic things about them that says, wow, they were paying attention, number one, when I was talking to them. Right. And that person took the time to remember that, my birthday, my child was sick, or something that it was near and dear to them. And not doing it in this phony-wony kind of way. Like I said, authentic. People feel that when you enter a space. You can feel it over the internet. You can feel it over the phone. When I speak to someone, I'm always smiling when I'm speaking to someone on the phone. I speak with a smile because I want them to feel it at the end of the phone. I want them to feel at the end, when they get off the phone with me, like, wow, that was a great and a pleasant conversation. I may not do business with her, but she was nice.
So let's back up just a little bit, because I hear something in your voice that little island thing going on there. So tell us a little bit about where you're from and actually how you got into this line of work.
Right. So I grew up in Jamaica. My family started trade unions in Jamaica. So again, we were people, right? And so I moved to Florida in 1983 and hence finished high school, ended up at Bethune. and how I met Anthony. And when I came back, I actually was supposed to go to law school.
Okay.
And I came back and started working in social services. And I just saw a need. I instead of going to law school, I really saw a need in the community. The fact that all my friends were working in social services too, but
Right.
I really saw when people would come in, like they would come in my office and they wouldn't leave. And I just knew that my whatever it is that I was supposed to do was going to be bigger than me. It was that not necessarily that, yeah, I was going to give out food stamps for the rest of my life, but
Right.
it was going to be bigger than me, because when people came in, I just didn't treat them like a number. I had empathy. I learned who they were. They weren't just my clients on a sheet of paper. They would call me by name. If I had, if they didn't have groceries, I would pick up the phone and call food pantries so that they can get food. But just going that extra mile, was a part of who I was in that space. So when I left, I started working in nonprofits. So my first nonprofit work was actually with the sickle cell. And then the Urban League was across the way, and I decided, I actually want to do Urban League work a little bit more. Right. And so I started working with Urban League. I worked with Urban League for 12 years and started the behavioral program at the Urban League. The behavioral program that we started was an outlier for Columbine, if you guys remember the Columbine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we hired behavior support people that came in, and again, that was community focused. I got to work with the kids that were on the campuses, but bigger than that, I got to know their families. So I was that person that would, okay, come and tell me your problems. Oh my God, you don't have clothes? Oh my God, your water is off? You know what I mean? Right. So I'm going home and I'm like, what agency can I call to get your phone bill back on? Let me take you to Walmart or Target to buy you something to wear so that you're not having an issue at school anymore. But really digging deep about why people were in the situations where they were. And I just wanted to unravel that, And so I worked at the Urban League. I decided to leave the Urban League and start my own company. So I started working with nonprofits. And in working with nonprofits, what I wanted to do with them was to make them better nonprofits than they were. They were doing the work, but what was happening, they weren't getting the funding. So I was trying to show them, how do you get people to be on your boards? How do you formulate your nonprofit that it becomes profitable for you? And also you continue to do good work. I left that. And I started I started with another partner, and we built a company that did event management and public engagement. And I did that for 12 years. And after the 12th year, it was time. We were going in different directions. So I started S.A. Nelson. And so here I am. Continue to make the connections. Like I said, so I've taken that germ and turned it into my own personal virus of wealth building and community connection. And so here I am.
Give us an idea of who is the clientele that you were working? I mean, is it entrepreneurs? Is it mom and pop stores? Is it corporations? Is it engineer? Who are you servicing?
So our service clients right now is really anyone who has a dream to be bigger than themselves. And I know it sounds like you can't be servicing everybody, right? But if you can tell me, because one of the things I tell people all the time when they come to me, everybody's come to me, it's like, oh, I want to start a business. And I was talking to my business partner today, and I said, are you willing to volunteer for your own business? And if they can't do that, then I said, you might want to continue to work. And it's not like I'm trying to stop their dream, but until you can volunteer for your own business, it's not going to work. We know, and I know Robert probably knows the same way, that it takes a minute for you to catch on. It takes a minute for you to get the motors going. So our current clients are developers who come in and see opportunities that we don't see in our own communities. And so what I try to make sure that when they see those opportunities, that they see us, that they're not just seeing the money, they're seeing us, and that they're seeing that we can also be a part of the opportunities. I try to do the second fold of that, where I try to teach our community about how they take those businesses and plug into what the developers are doing. because sometimes we don't see ourselves in those developments that are happening around us in our community. And so I help them to formulate their plans, get themselves ready, put them in touch with other resources so that that can happen for them.
So are you primarily talking about real estate developers, or
most of them are real estate developers right now? In a lot of our communities, you have opportunity zones, and so we have a lot. We have a lot of opportunities in our community that we're not a part of. When I say we, collectively, African and Black people. Right. And so with that, you have developers who are coming in because they have the money and they see the mission or whatever. And my job is to say, I know you can come in here and you can do X, but before you do X, wealth building has to be a part of your mantra. A community benefits agreement has to be a part of your mantra. And how and who is a part of your group is going to be important to me. So are your primes going to hire people from our community? Are your subcontractors going to look like me that are going to build it? So when we walk past it, we're proud. We're part of it. We're not just seeing it. And then we're like, oh God, there, it popped up. Like, where did that come from? Like, no, we were part of that. We built that. You know what I mean?
So go ahead, Anthony. I'm sorry.
No, I was just thinking that was awesome.
So Sophia, are your efforts primarily focused in the Florida area? And if so, what part of Florida, or are you connecting with developers in other parts of the country?
We're connecting with developers all over the country. We have a developer that we work with currently that has projects in Chicago, that has projects in LA, New York, Canada. We're trying to go into the islands. They have some stuff in the Bahamas. So that one particular developer has projects all over the country. They're actually French, so they're everywhere. But no, we go everywhere.
And I'm asking because I'm in a group that there are a lot of different entrepreneurs in this group, and many of them are real estate developers. Mm-hmm. So do you actually become an advocate for the developer, or at some point, do you become a member of their team or are you more of an advocate or on the side of the community to be sure that the developer does right by that community? Or I guess, like you said, it's just a matter of you bringing those two together to be sure that, because it's all about being mutually beneficial. I guess that was mutual.
Yeah, I consider myself a part of, if you're going to look at it as a salad, we're all individual ingredients, but hey, to make that salad yummy, we all have to be a part of it. So for me, the developer I would make sure that I'm a part of the development, because I want them to make sure that what they say they're going to do, somebody has to hold their feet to the fire.
Right.
So we can work on both sides. We can work on the development side, or we can work on the policy side with the legislators, the policymakers, to basically watch them and report what they do. So it's twofold. We can work on either side of the coin.
Okay. So now here's one, because I know I got a couple people who are watching right now who are also they're growing their business, whether it's a nonprofit or a community development. What advice would you share with them to kind of help them be able to kind of make that turn? Or when does that turn happen?
Oh gosh, when that turn happens, your heart starts smiling, because he's like, I made it. If you lay out a really good foundation, meaning that what it is that you're trying to do has an association, join it. If there's any certifications that you need to have to make your business grow, start doing the proper things. I mean, doing your taxes, doing your homework from that standpoint, finding a mentor within the ream of the agencies or whatever that you want to try to be a part of. And so mentors don't mean you have to call them every day. A mentor doesn't even mean that they even know that they're your mentor. A mentor could be somebody that you're just shadowing. You see them on Facebook, or you've seen them, you read about them, and you just track their life stories. What are they doing? And when did they make their turn? Because if you can benchmark when someone else has made their turns, and if you have set a good trajectory for yourself, you will know because you would have laid that life plan out. I always tell people you're the CEO of your career. And if you haven't laid out that plan, then no one else, no matter how many people you go to for business help or to help write your business plan, if you, the CEO of your career, have not written out what that plan looks and feels like, you'll never feel it.
Okay.
So it needs to be written. And once it's written, you find as close as possible a guideline. And that guideline is a person or a thing or opportunity, and you match it as much as you possibly can. I found many guidelines. Some I have told, some I have not told, and I've used them as my guiding post so when I get to a career landmark, I'm able to celebrate those little, and even if they don't have to be big, they just could be little career landmarks. Oh, I landed my first deal and it was, $20,000. Great. Let me see what my mentor in my head, what at that point in their business, where did they go? What were they doing? If I'm ahead of them, then I know for a fact that my trajectory is going in the way I want it to be going.
Listen, to everyone who's just now tuning in, if you're just now joining us, again, you're watching HBCU Experience Live, and we have our special guest for today, Sophia Nelson, a graduate of Bethune Cookman University, my classmate. She's here talking about the importance of networking, career development, and just this whole idea of how to build those relationships and those, you call it, what was your slogan, connecting or the?
I'm the connector. We're your connectors. Yeah. It's really simple. We just connect people.
So now let's talk about a little bit about so who are some of the people, or are you able to talk to some of the organizations that you have connected, maybe whether in the West Palm Beach area, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you do get across the country, across the world?
Well, I mean, I am an urban leaguer for life. Once a member, always a member. So I'm a member of the NAACP nationally. I am a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated here in West Palm Beach Alumni. I am a member of my alumni association. I mean, the thing is, when you talk about networking and connecting, you have to go back to what I call safe spaces. And those safe spaces are places that will accept you because you've been a part of them. You know them. You go there to feel welcome. It's kind of like Cheers. I tell people all the time, you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always
like, come on, Cheers.
So you go to those, you join organizations that are going to cuddle you and help you to grow and help you to take yourself to the next level. So the Urban League is one of those things for me. When you become a part of an Urban League, either an Urban League Young Professional or you volunteer, it's 105 affiliates across the country. That is, so where you are in West Palm, you can just pick up a phone really easy and call somebody in Tucson, Arizona, in California, somewhere. I'm also a part of Leadership Palm Beach County. So if there's leadership groups to learn your community better, make the sacrifice and join those. I'm a part of Leadership Florida. And again, that was another segment. But now I learned about my whole state.
Burger, you connected.
And you know what? I've learned that what you're talking about, there is a whole cottage industry around connecting people, and it could be fairly lucrative because, as a very practical example, I am not one that networks well. I will go to a gathering and basically just stand in a corner and leave it alone, Anthony. Just don't say anything right now. I would basically just stand in a corner and I would have to have people attend that event with me who would basically be doing what you're talking about. They would be out there doing the prospecting, and once they've identified somebody that they would think that I would need to meet, they would either bring me to that person or vice versa. And I'm saying all that to say that what you're doing, if somebody out there doesn't truly understand, it could be very lucrative because you could potentially be talking about millions, if not tens of millions of dollars as far as some of these deals. And to get a percentage of some of those deals. Again, you can make you could live a very comfortable life doing those kinds of things.
That is true.
But you know, I don't know. Obviously, well, let me ask you, because I get the impression that you're a bit of a socialite, because you almost have to be.
Well, that's my moniker, but not socialite in the way of being, you know, uppity. Socialite as in social light. Right. So that is my hashtag, socialite.
Okay. So yeah, absolutely. So what is one? Let's go back to Bethune for a minute. So what is one? Because I don't even know if there's a major necessarily that prepares you for what you're talking about. Because I know there are countless people out there say, I want to do something, I just don't know what it is. And a lot of those people can potentially do some of the work that you're talking about, because when you think about, I always tell people to go back and look at their Rolodex. That'll give you some indication as to what you might be able to do. Are there some suggestions that you have for people out there who might want to do the work that you're doing, who may be just getting ready to graduate from college, or potentially even going into college, knowing they want to do their own thing, they just don't know what?
Well, one thing I want to tell somebody who has the inkling to go out into the world is to take an etiquette class.
Wow.
To learn a lot of times the hesitation about networking and meeting new people, it really is about social skills.
Oh, absolutely.
And not understanding true social skills, not understanding and not being well read. I have to say that again. The fact, if you're not well read, you cannot strike up a conversation across the board. And I watch everything. I watch from Ratchet TV to, you know, C-SPAN. And so I try to cover the gamut, because I never know what's going to. I mean, I sat down with a CEO of Merrill Lynch and at a luncheon, and I go to a lot of breakfast, luncheons, receptions, whatever, and I'm getting ready to talk to him about stocks or whatever, and you know what he wanted to talk to me about? Love and hip hop.
Wow, that's
I'm like, okay, bring it on, I'm ready for that.
Wow, that's funny.
Which one?
Yeah.
But you never know who's gonna. You can't be intimidated. You know, my friend always said they put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you. You know, that's my dream. But so you can't be intimidated by who's going to be around the table. You just got to come in and just be ready. Just be ready for whatever conversation comes at you. One other thing I got to tell you about, and I understand your intimidation when you get into spaces. So if there's an event that I'm going to, and even if I know the people or don't know the people, I normally don't go up to people that much myself either. So just to let you know that. But I only take, and I tell people this all the time, I only take six business cards. My aim is not to meet everybody in the room. Maybe I strike up a conversation. Maybe I meet 3 people. One person, I strike up a conversation because their hair looks great, and that's all we talk about the whole night. And then we make a coffee date and we learn about each other later. It doesn't have to be that. I don't have to dig into your whole life story right there at the cocktail table. Maybe the other person that I meet, it is about work because somebody else told them, hey, you need to meet Sophia, or Sophia, you need to meet X. And maybe that is about work. And then maybe the next person I talk about is something that's happened in the community on a volunteer side. Like, oh, I heard you're on the board of XXYZ. And it's nothing about work. None of those things possibly could be about work. I always tell people, take the tension off about you have to talk about work when you go out to business events. You can talk about anything else, but, and like I said, I don't give out my business cards. Actually, I don't even print business cards anymore. But when I did, I only took 6. You're only going to meet at any given event. You're going to meet a lot of people, but you only really are going to make an impact with at least 3. And if you can pinpoint those 3 people beforehand that you want to have that impact with, then you going to that event could be more purposeful. Because if you spend $60 to go to an event, why not make it purposeful? Learn who's throwing the event. Yeah. Learn who's going to be there. If it's an industry, you know that an industry person is going to be there that you've always wanted to talk to, make it a point to learn about them, And then when you see them, you bring that up. You go talk to them and say, oh my God, I've always wanted to meet you. And da 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 da. This, if you wrote a book, we could talk about the book, whatever that may be. But I think if you, again, the word authentic, if you present authenticism, you will get that back, and then you'll get the meeting that you were looking for. It may not be the second meeting, it may not be the third meeting, it may be the fourth meeting when they said, I like you. Let me think about how I can incorporate you and your business into what I do. But the patience has to be there.
I love the fact that you say go into the event purposeful and know who's there so you can have some intentionality.
Yes.
Why you're there, so you're not just there holding the wall, but like, no, I got to get across that room and talk to Sophia.
Yeah.
Then I'm done. I'm not saying I'm done, but okay, I've kind of, okay, now I can enjoy the rest of the evening.
Exactly. The pressure's off. I can enjoy the evening. I can go drink my 3 glasses of wine, you know. And don't worry about saying something stupid.
So Sophia, what's next for you? What's on the horizon?
Oh my gosh. So for me, it's to continue to do the good deeds that I do. I do want to become an international brand, where I am connecting people, especially, like I said, I grew up in Jamaica. So I do want to go back and do something on the island. And so we're making preparations to do that. And, you know, even back to Africa, I have family members who live in Ghana right now. And so I just think that there's a missing link from America and back into the true diaspora, which is the connection to the Caribbean back to Africa. And I want to do something bigger. Again, I said, I've always thought something needs to be done bigger than me. And I think that would be it.
And I'm sure Anthony probably has some questions, but I'm curious to know this before you ask the next one. Has the virus impacted some of your projects, or has it helped or hurt or hindered in any way some of the things that you're attempting to accomplish?
Absolutely not. I looked at the virus really as a way to reset, recalibrate, and restart.
Come on. Yeah. For the Reeds. Come on, for the Reeds.
Bring out the orange, man. I tell you, I think people were looking at it in such a way like, oh my God, damn, 2020. 2020, I turned 50. And so you be damned.
Right.
Joy.
Right. No,
so no, I was ready for this year to be my best year ever. And it has been my best year ever. It's been my best year because the pause gave me a chance to recalibrate. Not that I was doing anything wrong, but it just gave me a chance to just pause back and say, okay, what do we need to add to the sauce to make it good sauce? You know what I mean?
Oh,
right now, it's tasty, but
right.
we need to make it good sauce. And so we were able to add some technology things. We were able to add a couple new people in, and so the sauce is rolling. And you know, the projects are going slower because government has shut down to some extent, but you know, it's given us time to breathe, to come up with new concepts, to really come back to the market energized and ready to go. So no, it has not for me. And you don't see me like
No, and in the interest of full disclosure, I was actually ready to move to Miami this past year. I didn't tell you that. I never told you that. Yeah, I was when they shut down. I was in Florida. I was in Miami actually.
Yeah.
When they shut down the city, and that's when I decided I need to go home. But up to that point, I was actually looking for a place, and I thought I had found. So I really like the Brickell area.
Oh, Brickell is nice.
So I had pretty much made up my mind. But when they shut down the city, when they shut down the gyms in Miami, it's time to go home.
Hey, listen, people, it's like they have gyms in their offices, so you know.
Right, exactly. So I'm still very much, and I would love for us to stay in touch, because again, I hope the people out there understand how critical what you do is to people like myself and so many others. Because we're not that quote unquote socialite where we can go out there and meet people. And one of the things that you said I hope resonates in a lot of ways, because I was just watching a video the other day. I don't know if you guys did, what are they called? Debutante balls? You know what a debutante ball is?
Yes.
Anthony, were you in a debutante ball?
Yes, I was an escort.
There you go. So Miss Prave, who was our director of the debutante ball, made it a point that we knew who Emily Post was, and that we did that we had to go through this charm school, if you will.
Yeah.
You know that those are critical. And I was watching this video, and the woman was at dinner, and she put the bread on the table, and I'm like, as opposed to the sauce, and I'm like, wow. And just something like that, because I know that I've had conversations with people, and something like that can happen, or you could be at dinner and something like that can happen, and that can impact potentially impact you wanting to do business with that person. So it could be the little things. So I hope the people out there, our audience, understands how critical those kinds of things are. That's the only
yeah. Business social graces is big when you do this business.
So Sophia, for those who may be watching, whether now they're going to watch on the replay or watch on our YouTube or something, how can someone connect with you? Maybe they just have some ideas. They want to, maybe reach out to you as a consultant, or to utilize your services.
We have a great website. It's www.sanelson.co. You're more than welcome to reach me that way. I'll put my phone number. It's 561-410-9443. Texting is best, because I'm always somehow in a meeting. But if you call me, I promise you within 48 hours, I will return a phone call. Email is always good. It's sophia@sanelson.co. I'm always open. One thing that anybody will always say about me is that I love to share. The information is not mine. And just because I did it, that would mean that you can do it the same way. I want you, if I give you something or you happen to benchmark it, that's stealing. It's fine. Just do it your way. So I am a sharer. I will get, and information is not mine to keep. Information is mine to give and to share. So anyone that calls me, I am willing to help as much as I can. I'm willing to do. And if it's not me, I'll make the connection.
Sophia, one more quick question before I let you go. Do you find that there are many people of color that you're doing business with at that particular level?
Not many.
And is the primary, are there obstacles, or is it, do you have a sense of why?
I wouldn't say that is so there's a lot of people, there's a lot of African Americans or Black people in the public relations space, but they do publicist work. They don't necessarily take it to the community side. And I can't tell you why on their end that they have not done that, but that to me, it has been very lucrative. And because my partner speaks construction, and that's a special language, right. It also helps us to be in the space in a very authentic way. And I love to use that word only because you can't come up in this space and not know your stuff, because they'll sniff it out and kick you out in a minute.
Okay. Cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Sophia Nelson, just this networking connector guru. She's amazing. And oh my God, I am so glad to see you. Oh my God.
No, Wildcats Connect. Listen, I was coming to homecoming this year. I promise I was. And so, listen, your journey to where you are now has captivated me. And I wanted to see you in person to give you the biggest hug, and the cyber hug, but I can't wait to see you and give you the biggest hug and to tell you how much you've inspired me on my continued journey to get there.
Come on. You got it. Just take that one step. You can do it, girl.
I know. I love food too much.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I put her email, I put her website in the chat. So if you're watching right now, it is in the chat right now. It'll be also on our YouTube links and all that kind of good stuff if you watch it on the replay. But Sophia, thank you so very
Bye,
much.
Robert. I can't wait to talk to you.
I'll be in touch. I need you to connect some dots. I'll be in touch.
Bye, guys.
Pleasure having you.
Bye-bye. Wow, so that was amazing. Okay, so listen, she did that thing.
Especially for somebody like myself, again, who's always been a bit reluctant to go out there and venture out and make those connections because one reason or another. So yeah, that was interesting. That was good.
So, I ain't gonna hold you.
What?
We want to share with you. Hold on, let me make sure I can get this right, and let's see if we can do this. So this whole being in this whole virtual world has connected me. Speaking of connecting dots, oh my gosh! So I've been able to travel virtually to all these different places and spaces, and now I'm actually going to be on somebody else's podcast on tomorrow. So you're watching this on Tuesday, July 21st. So on July 22nd, I'm actually going to be a guest on somebody else's show.
On the next Michael Finkley, Wednesday, we have Mr. Anthony H. Brown with us as he talks about his weight loss, his business, and the great work he does with UNCF and with HBCUs. Don't you dare miss next Michael Finkley.
Hi, I'm here to remind you that I count, you count, and we all count in the 2020 census. Now is the time to make sure that you are included in more than $675 billion in public funding that's distributed for our communities for healthcare, education, and more. This is a very serious matter, and every person, every neighborhood, and every community can and will benefit from these results. Make sure your voice is included in the number. For more information, visit my2020census.gov or call 844-330-2020. This message is being brought to you by the Alum Housing and Community Development Corporation and the United States Census.
So did I see you also gonna be talking about your weight loss on there, bro?
Yes.
How you gonna do that on somebody else's show? How do you dare to go on somebody else's show and not do that on ours? I don't understand that.
Because we never talked about it.
That's the point I'm trying to make. When people look at the little flyer that we send out, I guess they go back and look at your page. And I've had several people say, "Is that the same guy, Anthony? That's your co-host?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like there's no way in hell that's the same guy. So, bro, at some point, you're gonna have to tell that whole story.
Oh my gosh! And I tell quite a bit of it on this show. That's going to be
bits and pieces. The folk want to hear the whole thing.
Oh, and I'm very transparent.
You can't
talk about. And trust me, I go there. I go there with the whole. Yes, I go there.
What? Somebody out there tell Anthony how much we need to hear that story. And by the way, bro, you didn't talk about this T-shirt that you have on? Somebody that you want to talk about?
No, this is just my alumni because I knew Sophia was coming on, so I wore my alumni T-shirt.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because I knew that she was coming, and we were classmates, and so I figured I would wear my alumni T-shirt today.
Okay. Well, again, all these people keep sending you T-shirts. I just thought I didn't want you to be remiss and not mention somebody that has sent you another shirt. But one other thing I do want to share, because we didn't really get a chance to talk about it beforehand, that we're doing this big, this long name, HBCU free Facebook Live worldwide college fair. You got it, people?
Yes.
Fantastic. And it's hosted by your ever-loving HBCU Live crew. We will go live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The general session will last 1 hour, no more than 1 hour, and then we will send you to the various colleges' Facebook pages.
So, matter of fact, let me just go ahead. If I can just get here real quick and just show some people some of the images.
So, guys, so all you have to do to register is totally free for the colleges. It's free for the representatives. We're actually going to be doing 7. Again, each one of them will be hosted by the HBCU Live crew. So we definitely want you to come out and be a part of that effort. I actually had a Zoom call this morning with many of the colleges that will be represented. Anthony, do me a favor and scroll all the way down. Oh, this is the page. No, I'm sorry, that's the website. But guys, what you'll do, I wanted some of the Facebook page, that's okay. But you'll be able to go to our Facebook page and see all of the colleges listed beginning Thursday and all of the organizations. There you go. If you go see this part up here where it says 7 free HBCUs, we're going to change that beginning Thursday, and you'll be able to see all the colleges that will be represented, the organizations. Anthony, I'm going to put you on the spot. Are you going to do something? Are you doing a session as well, my brother?
You're going to do something. As a matter of fact, I might even know somebody else who wants to do something too.
Okay, so, fantastic. So guys, again, go to commonblackcollegeapp.com to register.
Are you interested in attending an historically black college university? Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm president and founder of the Common Black College application. On Saturday, July 25th, we'll be hosting, in conjunction with our partners, the HBCU Facebook Live Worldwide College Fair that is absolutely free to the public. During the course of the fair, you'll have an opportunity to meet with various representatives from different HBCUs from throughout the country, many of which will be offering admissions and scholarships on site. There will also be a financial aid workshop conducted by HBCU professionals. In addition to their celebrity appearances, and companies and organizations will also be conducting sessions. And again, in order to register, all you have to do is to go to commonblackcollegeapp.com. So we certainly hope that you will join us on Saturday, July 25th for the HBCU Facebook Live Worldwide College Fair. Thank you, and get educated.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that.
Let me just go and just play the commercial right now.
You know what I mean? But I should say that. You notice I had the same shirt on. I'm like, oh no, I got to. So for those that are wondering, I do have a.
Oh, what I do? Wait.
We certainly hope that you will join us.
Oh, no,
Saturday, July 25th.
Oh,
You got to get to
my
it.
bad. I had it.
Well, it's not just the show.
It's an experience.
It's an
So,
experience.
ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun, but we gotta run. We really do have to run. Thank you. We said we weren't gonna hold you long, and we didn't probably kept you for about a good hour. So thanks again to Sophia Nelson, who was our guest for today, and Tia, and actually Tia was here for a moment, but she had to go finish the day with her husband because it was his birthday and all that kind of good stuff. And all those who came out and watched us to watch the show today, whether you're watching it live, you're going to watch it on the replay. Thank you so very much for all that you do, how you do, when you do. We will see you 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on July 25th, 2020 for this explosion, this exposition, this experience that we're going to have on Saturday. So again, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your students. It's open to all. So come on and have a good conversation and learn some more about Historically Black College and University. I will see you in the group tomorrow with 73,000 plus members. In the HBCU Alumni United this week, we are lifting up, oh my God, I get excited and I forget who we're lifting up for this week. So this week, we have Bowie State University, we have Lane College, and we have Morehouse School of Medicine. So those are the three schools for this week. We actually have alumni from all three schools who will be on the show tomorrow to talk about their schools, talk about the fundraising efforts, talk about engagement. So we're looking forward to that. Then on Saturday night, by the way, Robert, I renamed the show because
What you call it? What you call it now, bro?
Live, yeah, it was too long. So now it's just called HBCU Alumni House Party. Right?
I saw that graphic. That was hot.
Yes, it's a house party.
You leaning by the house?
Yes, it's a house party.
It's a house party.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We play a little music. We're in the house. We talk. We talking that talk, having a good time. So yes, so that's what it's called, HBCU Alumni House Party. Having a great time. So we look forward to you coming in tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Saturday. On 9:30 p.m. we'll do a check-in and see what the numbers are for the week, and then we'll kick off week 9. I think I'm going to bring in a couple special guests. I got a songwriter, vocalist coming in Saturday night. His name is Nick. He's a student at Interdenominational Theological Center, ITC. Yes, and he also was a graduate of Payne College. He'll
wow.
be with us Saturday night. Yes. So I'm looking
Wow.
forward
Is
to
it gospel or?
Yes. Well, he does a little neo soul gospel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah. So with all that, Rob, you got anything else?
No, that's it, my brother. That's it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun, but we got to run to the next time. Shoot for the moon. You miss, you always will be amongst the stars. Know that you are a masterpiece. Why? Because you are a piece of the master. See you later, and bye-bye.
Stay safe, people.